who are joining by closed circuit. And Mr. Chad Mattingly is live streaming the session through his office as the county clerk. So you've got lots of listeners today. And because we want to keep this session to 1 hour, I'm now going to switch into teacher mode. Okay? And I will briefly remind all of us of the ground rules. First, for the audience, we ask that you listen to each speaker with respect, without any interruptions, and to wait for questions until all three candidates have spoken. Okay? Do we have an agreement on that? Yes. All right. And for the candidates, thank you for being here. We are truly impressed with your bravery and courage to come and want this job and then to come and speak to us. So we will ask you to introduce yourself and answer the overarching question, why do you want the position of Marion County Jailer? And we ask you to speak slowly and directly into the microphone and keep your remarks to 10 minutes. And we have Sister Anna, who will give you the 2-minute warning. And after all three candidates have spoken, then we'll have time for questions. And that'll be another whole set of rules. Okay? So our first speaker today, Mr. Tony Furman. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony Furman, and I stand before you today as a young black man who grew up right here in Marion County, shaped by its challenges, strengths, and by its people, and committed to its future. I'm running for Marion County Jailer because I believe this role is more than managing a building, and it's more than a job. It is a calling for me. So some people use it, the term, as a position or a job. It's more than a job to me. It's a calling. It's something that I think that I believe that someone with higher power wants me to do. So for many of us, the justice system isn't an abstract idea. It's personal. I've seen friends, family members, and neighbors get caught up in the cycle that have been prevented with the right support, the right leadership, and the right opportunities. I know what it feels like to be judged before you're understood. I know what it feels like to be underestimated because of your age, your background, or your color of your skin. And that is exactly why I'm stepping up. I'm running for county jailer because representation matters. Our community deserves leadership that understands the reality people faces, leadership that listens, that cares, and that leads with integrity. When people walk through the doors of our jail, they're not just inmates. They're someone's child, someone's parent, someone's neighbor. They deserve safety, structure, and a chance to come out better than what they went in. I'm running for I'm running because public safety and rehabilitation go hand in hand. A well-run jail protects our community. Excuse me. A well-run jail protects our community, supports our staff, and gives individuals the tools to rebuild their lives. That means better training for officers, stronger mental health, addiction services, and programs that prepare people for life after incarceration. We invest in people. We reduce repeat offenses and make our community safe for everyone. I'm running because our staff deserves support. The men and women who work inside our jail faces stress, danger, and pressure every single day. They deserve leadership that has their back, leadership that prioritizes training, safety, and respect. And finally, I'm running because I believe in second chances. I believe in accountability, but I also believe in hope. I believe that our county can be a place where justice is firm, fair, and rooted in humanity. This campaign isn't about me, it's about us, our families, our future, and our belief that we can build a safer, stronger, and compassionate community. So I'm asking for your support, your trust, and your partnership. Together, we can redefine what justice looks like in this county. Together, we can create a jail system that protects the public, respects the staff, and gives people a real chance to change. My name is Tony Furman, and I'm running for Marion County Jailer because I'm ready to lead with purpose, integrity, and with the heart of someone who knows this community because I come from this community. Thank you.
All right. Can y'all hear me now? Wrap it because I may not stand still. So, first of all, I want to say thank you, everyone, for coming today. Um, it's exciting to see so many people that care about our community and are interested in our jail because our jail sometimes and the employees that work there go unnoticed. We're a group of individuals that so many times that get forgotten about when they think of law enforcement, first responders, because we work inside of walls that nobody really gets to see inside of. So I'm here to run for Marion County Jailer because I have a passion for the jail. I have grown to love the jail, and I just have a passion. I didn't even really know that I wanted to be jailer. The jailer brought us all into the office one day, and he said, was telling us he was going to retire. And he asked us, does anybody want to run for jailer? And my hand went up. I did not even know that I wanted to be jailer until that very moment. And I believe that my God was preparing me for that moment all of these years. I come to you with 20 plus years of experience inside the detention center. I have went from part-time deputy all the way up to classification administrator, and that's what I do now. And my time that we spent through the pandemic taught me leadership. It taught me change that can happen on a dime, and policies were changing every single day. And we had to enforce those. We had to protect the employees. We had to protect the community. We had to protect those inside of our facility. It was a hard job. We lost one of our inmates, and it was hard on our staff. It was stressful on our staff. But we had to come together and we had to persevere. And that challenge helped prepare me to run for jailer. I said, I love the jail, not really sure I like politics. So there are so many people that have jumped in and with me to prepare me for this because I love the jail. I want to do what I can to keep it going. And I don't want to change what's already been started because our jailer, Barry Brady, has done a wonderful job with the jail and caring about others. And I don't want to have to come in here and change that just for the sake of change. I want to enhance that. I want to build on that. I want to continue to grow the jail in our community and keep it safe for those inside the jail, for everyone outside the jail, for the families of the ones that have people incarcerated, for the victims of those incarcerated. It is a big job. It's not just focusing on one group of people. You have to keep your eyes on the whole picture. And one of my main focuses with the jail is mental health. I leave that jail so many days defeated because there's people that I cannot help. They come in there and they can't even help themselves. And there's not anything that we can do. And I will make it my mission to continue to help those folks, to be able to get the resources they need, to work with those people in our community to help get those resources. And the next thing that I'm passionate about is reentry. So we have a 208-bed program jail, and it is wonderful. Programs are wonderful, but we have to continue to prepare our individuals to go back out into the communities. And not only our program inmates, but those who are in our jail for one day, for one night. We have, our jail has had the privilege of creating a program called SOAR, which actually, when it was created, it was called REACH. The DLC come and took it and renamed it. But I got the privilege of help creating that program, and it helps those who have completed programs continue to do programs inside the facility when they don't have to go back and live in general population. And not only that, we have created a pre-release program, and that's for any individual within our communities that we bring community resources inside the jail so they can make relationships, build bonds, get the resources they need to be better when they leave. I have a passion, which we call the general population of the jail. It means it's our county inmates in the center. Because so many times I feel like that they get left behind. I always say you have to commit a crime before they're willing to give you any kind of help. And I want to help them from the moment that they walk in the door. I want to be able to show compassion, even in their hardest times, because they don't always come in liking us. So, but we can still care for them right where they are. And another thing that I would like to continue is our jailer is passionate about his employees. And that passion makes me want to keep doing more for them. They have a job that they go into every day that goes unnoticed. They leave there defeated. They leave there overwhelmed. And I believe that they deserve a pay and the benefits that they deserve. The officers that work the street have hazardous duty. The people in the Department of Correction have hazardous duty. But those of us in the center, we don't. And it is one of the hardest jobs. We get people at the very beginning, the worst of their times. And we have to build on that for them. We have to be there for them. And it's not always easy. And we have people coming in that are kind, and we have people coming in that are not kind. But we have to care for them all. And another thing that I am passionate about is training. I believe our jailer always says trained and dedicated, trained, skilled, and dedicated. And I believe that starts with training. And I want to continue to build on that training so our employees can have what they need to do the best that they can at their job. I also would like to be able to look into more grants and things that can help build on security and programming, detection. One of the saddest things that I've seen grow since I have been into working in the jail system is the growing epidemic with drugs. When I first started working there, the hardest thing was the alcoholic going through a detox. Now we have so many substances that it takes so long to get people back to the way they need to be. And we want to keep our employees safe. So I would like to build on detection. And I would like to do that in a way that does not cost our taxpayers money. Because at the end of the day, we want to care and we want to show compassion, but we also have to pay attention to our taxpayers and their dollars. And I'm here today to help continue to serve you. And I ask for your support and your vote when I go into this election. And I ask you to let me serve you. Thank you.
I'm going to leave it there. Can everybody hear me? No? Okay. Yes, I'm not. My name is Adam Gordon. I'm currently running for Marion County Jailer. I'm not good at public speaking, as you can tell. This is the first time in politics, as you can tell. Running for jailer, it requires a purpose. And with that is part of protecting our community with that purpose. Purpose is very important. It gives a person a continuing way to strive for bigger and better things. And with the jail, the only thing hold off, let me explain something. Right here is sitting a man who is very respectful in the community. He's given 24 years of his life, and the jail as it is all about Barry Brady. Barry Brady has been an excellent jailer for Marion County, and he has chose to step down. However, I feel that as far as being a jailer or being any type of public figure, transparency and accountability is the utmost important thing. I agree with each one of these candidates as far as keeping the programs going. There's a lot of issues out there. However, with those programs, you have to back those programs up. And currently, right now, the jail is in a deficit. It's been in a deficit. Fiscal court has come in. They have tried to put forth money, different types of ideas on how to, but the revenues at the jail from 2024, 2025 was $5.05 million. The employees, along with their salaries and benefits, was 5.14. For these programs to survive, the jail has got to build bigger revenues. And right now, there's no outlet. It's a 297 bed facility. She touched base. The majority of those beds are state programs. You've seen in House Bill 557, it's a push to up the fees that the state is currently paying. And it's almost impossible at this rate. There's no way to improve the jail. As far as the facility, I think, was built in 1997. It's almost 20 years old. There's going to have to be upgrades, which is therefore is going to cost Marion County more money. Once I get into the finances within the next 8 months, I will know more. However, that's just touching the base on the 2025 fiscal year ending. Barry has done a great job. When he came in 2003, I think. He ran in 2002 and 2003. The facility was in a deficit. After Barry's first year, it went the next 7 years without having any money transferred in by the fiscal court. The jail was paid for in 2017. And at that point, the money increased by being put in by the fiscal court. It actually went from 2017, 2018 to 2025 to $1.5 million average of a transfer of taxpayer money into the jail to keep the doors open and operational. My theory on this is the state inmates that are coming into Marion County, I don't know the percentages as how many Marion County inmates compared to other county inmates, but Marion County's fitting the bill for that. And that's why I'm running for jailer. It's for a purpose. It's to protect our community, protect the people that are incarcerated, and to try to turn a profit for the jail. Thank you.
I'm thank you, everyone. I think everyone followed all the rules. What a wonderful group. And thank you for such clear presentations and sticking with the time limit. So we would like now to open it to questions from the audience. And again, we want to respect everyone's time. And so we welcome the questions, but ask you maybe not to make a speech before you ask the question. You've been in audiences where people maybe have done that. And I think if you can ask any particular candidate the question, or if you just ask the question and all three of them want to answer, we'll go with that also. So ready for the questions? Mary has got a microphone, and Donna over on this side of the room. When you ask a question, speak directly into the microphone so we can hear you. Okay, I see a hand. Mary? You want to stay seated and I'll just.
Mr. Ferguson, go ahead. Hold it up to your mouth. I can do that. Mr. Ferguson, you were the first, so I'm going to give you the first question. If you are the jailer and an ICE agent shows up to detain illegal immigrants or illegals, what would you do?
I'd hand them over to them. If that's what the law requires, then that's what'll happen.
Is that what you would want to do?
If they're illegal and they're not supposed to be here, then they need to be handed to ICE.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tina?
Same question. So currently, whenever we have an individual in our facility and they're not a legal citizen, we have the responsibility to report them. Sometimes that's very hard for us because of who the individual is, and sometimes that they're not always, it may be someone very young. But we understand that we have a responsibility to uphold the laws, so we do that. But we can do that with compassion.
I think I'm going to have to stand up again. That's okay. So with these questions, what I was originally going to do was kind of sit back. I'm a Republican candidate. I don't actually have to run in the May primary. I have no opposition through the Republican Party. I was going to leave the questions up to Tina and Tony because one of their roads is going to end come May for jailer. But the ICE is an important question. That's a hot topic on social media. You see the post. You see the bad part. That bad person. Not every agent, not every law enforcement is they're not representing every agent or every law enforcement. When illegal comes into the custody of the jail, that illegal is given a chance to give a social security number or some type of ID or some form of identification, such as a visa, work card, green card, or anything like that. They have to go through the court process. It's not like as soon as they're brought in from law enforcement into the jail that ICE is automatically called. That doesn't happen. Their case, the reason why they're in jail is they've committed a crime. And that due process has to go through before ICE is contacted. So once they've resolved their case here in Marion County, it's then left up to the jail to contact ICE, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And with Immigration Customs Enforcement, once the case is resolved, they will have 48 hours to come to the jail to remove them. They don't come to the jail within 48 hours, the jail is to release them. And then it's up to ICE to find them again. That's my take on ICE.
Yes, Donna? Question.
My question is more toward Tina. Of course, you two are welcome to answer. I'd like for you to explain more by why the jail is in the financial straits. I think you can explain that a little bit more, and how the state has had the root cause of all of this.
So first of all, I want to say, Mr. Gordon was talking about our budget. We do have a $6 million budget, but we get a carryover. This term, we had a carryover of 0.17, which we have not met yet. Okay, so having our state inmates is what keeps our doors open. Having the programs is what keeps us with inmates. If we did not have our programs, we would be begging for inmates like other jails are begging us for inmates. And programs are important, so it's a win-win for us. And as far as the state and the deficit, House Bill 557, everybody call your senator, we want House Bill 557. The Department of Corrections is paying us 35 something and 43 cents and something a day for each inmate that we house. And if we were getting the cost of living, they should be paying us $54 a day. They have used jails as a cheap way to house their inmates, and they're not living up to their end of the bargain. So in that House Bill 557, they are trying to get them to increase that, either with the increased per diem or contract jails. They're also talking about regionalizing jails, which reading House Bill 557, Marion County Detention Center is already a regional jail because we house for Washington County and the state. So, and the medical cost, the state only gives us a percentage of the medical cost for the state inmates. So part of House Bill 557 is to get them to start reimbursing us what we are owed. But at the end of the day, it is a good thing for us to have our programs and our state inmates. Yes, actually, it was a group of 5 jails who went together and filed lawsuit against the Department of Corrections for them not holding up their end of the bargain. And in that, we actually got judgment for that. Is at the Court of Appeals right now, so we haven't gotten anything back. But we have seen so many times with the state that they get told to do something and give us money, but they don't never have any money to give. So we are responsible for housing the inmates regardless. They can never be overcrowded. And if they don't got the money, they don't give it to us. So, and we don't get that luxury because we have to house them.
So, House Bill 557, I just want the state to hold up their end of the bargain. I do agree with Tina. They have dropped the ball, and they've always dropped the ball. So I don't want House Bill 557 to go in, and then 2 years down the road, they say, well, we're going to have to cut from someplace, so let's just cut the jail again. So our county and a lot of other counties, we can't stand to take another hit like we're taking now. So if they're saying they're going to pay X amount of dollars, then they need to pay that amount because it has put our county in the strain. It's put the taxpayers in the strain, and that's just the bottom line. They need to hold up to what they say. So call your senators, call your state representatives, whoever you need to call the governor, call the president, whoever can get it done, just to make sure that they know that when this House bill goes through, that they need to keep and hold up what they say. They need to make sure they stand by what they say. Thank you.
again, thank you, Miss Brady, for that question, for Lisa, or for Tina. Tina had said that that's that 1.7 million is a carryover. That's not a carryover. A carryover that the jail has is $100,000 every fiscal year starting July 1st. The carryover of the 1.7, 1.3, whatever it's averaged over the last 5 or 6 years, is what the money is coming out of the general fund to keep the lights on at the jail. And I believe, just as I was raised when I was young, revenues are your budget. If you've got X number of revenues, that's how much your budget is. I can remember when I was 16, I got my first car. My dad made me go to a bank, get a loan. He taught me at that age, if you can't pay the loan, I'm not gonna pay it for you. I ended up losing that car about 3 months in because I couldn't afford the loan payment. Same thing with state inmates. If the state is so far behind and not keeping their end of the bargain, why do you continue to bring state inmates from other counties into this facility to give them treatment and to give them help at the taxpayers' money? That's something. Just because you've got 297 beds doesn't mean you have to fill those beds. If you're automatically, every time somebody walks into that jail and you're $20 in a hole, you keep them for 60 days. Now you're $1,200 in the hole. So, I mean, it's just common sense, guys. If your revenue is $5 million, that's your budget. It's $5 million. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Before we have another question, there are a couple of seats up here and a couple of seats here and there. So please get comfortable.
Oh, sorry.
I think Angela has the next question, Mary.
So my question, we know that Barry has done an excellent job, and I appreciate Barry's service, but I think there's always room for growth. There's always room for change. So I would hope that you all will take this question seriously. What is one thing in our current jail that you would change?
Who wants to start?
Mary.
There's probably a lot that can use improvements, but just off the top of my head, just thinking of one thing that could change, that should be changed, is better training. These deputies, that they go to work, it's a good chance that, and it can happen right here in Marion County, it's a good chance that they might not come home. It's a very good chance. Just because they're not out on the streets, it doesn't mean that they going to come home in the morning, because there's a very good chance that they may not. There are people in our jail that have committed some heinous crimes, and they are very violent people. You have to watch every move they make. Even when you think you know them, you don't know them. And if you think, if I'm wrong, then check out the news every single day. Look at the Enterprise. Look at social media. I think training is a big asset, and I think that's something that, of course, not saying that the training that they're receiving is bad. I'm just saying more training. So in a field like this, if you've never worked in law enforcement, you can never have enough training. I don't care what you think you know. I don't care how long you've been doing it. The unexpected is going to happen. So thank you.
My question,
Hang on just a minute, please.
sorry.
So first of all, I want to say I agree with Mr. Furman on the training. Training is very, very, very important for our employees. And my goal is to start seeking training that don't cost us anything. And that since it's been brought up, since I have been doing my research, preparing for today, in the process, I've been looking for training. So that is something we'll be able to do. Even if I don't get in, we can start that now. So, and another thing that I believe that could be improved is seeking grant money. Because there is so much grant money out there to be gotten. I have learned that through working through the coalitions and stuff in our community, and I believe that our jail's not using that resource to the best of their ability.
Okay.
She didn't turn the mic off on me that time. Thank you, guys. I think it's clear today on what my change is going to be at the jail. It's strictly finances. I mean, Barry, again, has run an excellent jail. He's trained his staff. He's got somebody that actually comes in and does the training there at the facility. Am I right, Barry? So that's really not costing the taxpayers any money as far as Mark Whitehouse, I'm thinking, as a training officer down there. But the finances is my main concern. I'm a taxpayer just like everybody else here. And the 1.6, the 1.3, I keep illustrating that. That's a big problem because as of January 4th of this year, with 6 months left in the fiscal year, the jail has already had over $1 million transferred in. So that's my main concern is the finance. Thank you.
Okay, I think Mary, and then we have a question over here. Okay, Mary?
I'm curious as to why you are taking state inmates. Can you turn them away? You say that's a problem. Can you turn them away?
Let me get Actually, we have a law that says all Class D inmates shall be housed in county jails. So we can't necessarily turn them down. So that is why we have strived to create the programs that we have. That way that we are guaranteed them. And the state inmates is what pays our bills. Because at the end of the day, we still have to house our own people and they don't pay anything. So.
Okay, someone over this, oh,
Carolyn. Okay, Carolyn,
Again, Mike's still on. She says they can't turn them away. They don't have to go get them. What they do is state inmates are transferred from other county jails to work in a program at Marion County. There's actually, I'm wanting to say 14 programs offered. 13 out of the 14 programs are offered here at Marion County. The other jail, the only other jail in the state that offer that same amount of programs is Shelby County. I'm just learning of this, so I haven't been able to get in contact with the Shelby County jailer or see what their finances are like. But as far as state inmates, yes, they shall be housed in county jails, but it doesn't say they have to be housed in Shelby or Marion County jails. That's all I've got to say with that.
okay, I think someone over here.
This is mostly a comment. I think it's miraculous that the jailer can take care of an inmate for $35 a day. And even if that's increased to $65 a day, I don't know how you do it. The government pays private corporations to hold immigrants for $200 a day per immigrant. So I don't know why they can't, if that's what they are collecting from our government and giving it to the corporations who own these detention centers, I don't know why they're not giving it to the jails who are also. So you have to call or write your representatives because it's a great injustice and they're making money off you for the rich corporations.
you had a question. Oh, I'm sorry, back here.
Yes, so I know we've heard Tina's background in corrections, and obviously, if she wants to expand on that, she can. But the other two gentlemen, do you have a background in corrections? If so, what is that? And if you don't, what is your background?
So I do have a background. I've been in law enforcement in different entities for a long period of time. So yes is the answer for me. And okay, yes, yes. So I've worked in 3 different sheriff's departments, and I've worked at Marion County Jail 2 times. So I worked there 15 plus years ago, and then I worked there 5 years ago. So the answer is yes to that question. Thank you.
Tony's known for turning off the mic as well. I am currently employed with the Marion County Sheriff's Department. I'm hired in with the Sheriff's Department as court security. I handle the day-to-day ventures in court. So I deal with the inmates on a daily basis. If somebody comes into the sheriff's office or into the courthouse and they have active warrants or summonses that need to be served, I'm the one they're going to get to see, which is my smiling face. However, I do have 12 years experience dealing with, I think it's classified as the SOAR program now, but it used to be the REACH program. And that's where they send out low risk level inmates to the counties, like to your road department, to your county shelter. I was first introduced to the county government under Dave Harrigan. I was hired actually as your first animal control officer of Marion County. And I played that role for 12 years. And then when the passing of Dave, I decided to give that up. And I went back into the private sector where I owned a small business for 8 years and still carried on a full-time position with TG and with JET tank testing where we traveled the state. So I've got roughly about 15 years experience serving Marion County, 12 years as a business owner, or 8 years as a business owner and 12 back into the private sector. But the main experience I got is the 52 years, I'll be 52 in December, of life and experiences on how to succeed. And I feel that I have succeeded in life because my wife, she's been with me we'll be married 30 years, and I've got 2 great children, both boys, and 6 grandchildren, 5 girls and 1 boy. So thank you.
Okay, my question is this. I understand and I truly support the finance is one of our major issues within a lot of things. You guys have also focused on the state people coming to Marion County, to the jail system. So what are some programs and goals that you guys have for our own Marion County people that they're allowed to do? And is it a first come, first served basis, or is it only offered to certain people to get in those programs to better themselves? This is for both candidates, because you're good.
Okay, sorry. I jumped up for that one because I'm passionate about those people in the 100 block. So I can tell you right now, we have programs for the people in the 100 block. So most of those programs have to be volunteer. So right now we have the pre-release program, which we started actually back before COVID, but it got shut down. So I've been partnering with our community resource specialist and starting that back. And basically, we get all these community partners to come in that offers them services, jobs, rehabilitation. We have the Medicaid people to come in to help them get their insurance started back. We also have a food and finance program that's actually offered to everybody in the jail. And when they come in, want to offer programs, I always try to make sure that that 100 block is included because they need those programs. We have probably 20 volunteers coming in between church services, 12-step programs, The library is even going to start a book study with them in the 100 block. So my focus is to continue those programs and to better those programs by seeking out those people who want to come in and volunteer at our facility.
So, of course, I said I used to work at the jail, so I know how things operate. So there shouldn't be a second guess or any question. If someone that has a disease or has a mental ill or has a drug problem, whatever it may be, if they have an addiction, they should be our people. These are our people. You know, these are our family. These are our friends. These are everybody's people. They are Marion County people. They should have maybe not the first choice to go to programs, but they should have somewhere at the top to go to programs because this is their county jail as well as it is ours. So, you know, I've seen it done before. I've seen you be in orange one day and then you'll be in khaki the next. So whatever it takes to get it done, and that's what we need to do if they're willing. So we can beat a dead horse all day long trying to get these people clean, but they got to have support, they got to have help, and they've got to want to do it. So if they don't want to do it, they're just going over there to get their sentence reduced. That's all they're there for. We want to make sure that they're there for a purpose and they're going to get something out of it. I want to see a higher rate of success. Thank you so much. Come out of these programs. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Yes, Tina, or any of the three of you, is there any data that says that your programs are reducing recidivism as reentrance to the jail?
To be honest with you, I do not know. I do know that there has to be some data for them to continue them through the Department of Corrections. Actually, the community support specialist was in our office the other day, and we were talking about how they monitor that. They do that 1 year after their release. One of the problems with that is to get good numbers. Those people are usually on some kind of supervision. So it would be good to know what those numbers are after supervision. So no, but yes, because the UK and U of L actually are both colleges track those for the programs. So right now the numbers are good, but that is 1 year after release.
I directed a reentry program in St. Louis for some years, and the data is that this is generalized, but pretty true that there are exceptions. But if you have no programs, you've got a 64% chance of recidivism. Any program at all reduces recidivism down to 14%. It is a big deal.
Hi, my question was around funding for the jails. So I know we've heard a lot about how the state is not giving enough money for the state inmates. Are jails funded on a federal level in any way, or where does the rest of the money come for our jails? Because it does kind of make sense. If it's too expensive to house state inmates, let's just not house them. But if that's the only way the jail is getting money, then how do you pay for the rest of it?
I'll take this. I don't want to talk about finance. All right, as far as the way the revenue budget is submitted to the fiscal court, it's broke down into categories. You've got it's a medical allotment, That's that $2 that they get. It's actually, they're saying that these state inmates are getting paid at $33.34 per day. The $2 medical allotment takes it to $35.34. When they set out for the budget on the revenues, like I said, it was roughly around $5 million. 3 point some million was for state inmates. So you get another, I think this year's budget was like 800,000 for a state grant. I think that's all county jails across, as long as they pass the inspections and things like that, they're all given a state grant. So yes, that money comes from the state. Now, where the state gets that from, that I don't know. But there's a lot of good things about these programs. I mean, it really is. But my concern is, are these programs helping Marion County out? You know, she said the 100 block. They don't reach these programs because they're county inmates. They're not state inmates. The only ones they do. Went from, but they had to do their county time. They had to go through the process. And then once they were convicted of that crime, they were then transferred over from a county inmate to a state inmate. You cannot have county inmates classification in a state inmate program because the state's not going to pay for it. We are paying for county inmates. And as you can tell today, we're paying for some state inmates too that's not from Marion County. That's all I have to say with that.
You have a few minutes to respond.
So really quick, it's just actually 30,000 that the state gives us stipend to house inmates, and that's just because we house inmates. That's pennies too, because they just decreased that number by like 2%. But we also get money from Washington County. We house for Washington County, and they pay us to house their prisoners. So they pay us about $42 a day, and then they pay for all their medical. So that is another way that we try to cut cost. Our commissary, so the inmates' commissary all goes back into the inmates. So that pays for some of the programming, some of the staff that works in the commissary. It also pays for their equipment, like their workout equipment and things like that. And then there's also several other little fees. We can charge a day-by-day fee, but we don't want to have to put more burdens on families to do that. So there's just an initial $40 fee they pay when they come in. And then we get some fees from the courts. That's not very much either. So there are a few other things besides state, but we have to seek out those, like having Washington County. And we also house military. So we have a military contract. Right now we have 2 of those. That is through Fort Knox. So that is another way we generate revenue.
So we've heard testimony about what we got coming in. We've got funding coming in from here. We've got funding coming in from Washington County. We've got funding coming in from the military. But the ultimate question is, where's it at and where's it going? Thank you.
I got a question real quick.
All right.
I've been working with Barry and Tina for 8 years, okay? Oh, can you hear me now? But I've been working with these people for 8 years. My wife works with Adam. But one thing nobody talked about, who would pick up the garbage if we got rid of state inmates? No, seriously. I mean, all the inmates on back of the garbage truck are inmates.
Okay.
State inmates.
All right. So I think we are almost
That's
out of
right.
time. So I will give your question due process. And we'll give each one of them a chance to answer that.
Thank you, Jackie. And if anybody doesn't know Jackie, he's a magistrate for this area, so he's well versed on what's going on at the jail. I actually went to a committee meeting approximately about 3.5 weeks ago, and Keith Brock, which was a speaker at that meeting, One of the questions at the meeting was brought up is how come the inmates aren't being utilized more in the community? One question or one comment was because of COVID. Well, COVID's come and gone. I mean, it's still here, but if they've got some control over COVID, we can't keep using COVID as an excuse. But my concern was when Keith Brock was talking, we talked about the litter abatement program. The county or the jail receives $21,000 a year for that litter abatement. That's where you go out on the road and you see the inmates out picking up litter. It's actually a $30,000 grant that's handed down by the state. The $9,000 is put out to schools, charities, and somewhat to pick up trash to raise money for that charity. And it's considered $100 a mile. And I think they can clean up 10 miles of the county roads, max out $1,000. But my concern was when Keith talked about the garbage trucks. The county is actually looking in on garbage trucks that have the automatic arms that come out and do that. And he said with the liability and stuff coming as far as insurance wise for the county, that the county was looking more for that, and that would eliminate the inmates being on the truck. I don't want to see that happen, because as an animal control officer for 12 years, I relied on those inmates, 3 to 4 inmates a day, 7 days a week, to help me out at the animal shelter. They would go out and also help me pick up stray animals and things like that. I'm not downing the programs at the jail. The jail has great programs. You just got to find ways to supply the money to feed those programs to make them strive. But with no money, it's absorbing everything. So that's just my concern. She's wanting me to get off the mic.
I'm so subtle. Anyone else you want to answer it? Right. You got 1 minute.
I got 1 minute. So to answer Jackie's question, who would pick up the garbage? That means that the county would have to hire if we didn't have those programs. If we didn't have those programs, the county would have to hire somebody to pick up the trash. Nobody would work on the garbage truck. Then if they don't want to work, then they don't want to eat. Thank you.
Well, thank you all. Thank you all for the questions and the comments. And thank you for being so gracious and answering them. We really appreciate. Oh, did you wish to, one more? Okay. You got 1 minute.
Okay, I'll do this quickly. So with Jackie, they would have to hire that out or go to resourcing out and buying different trucks. But our inmates go out in our community a lot. They just have to call and ask. Our inmates give back to our community. I know there is an exact dollar. Our jailer is really big on numbers. So that what the savings that we have to our community, and it's not just about the savings, it's about teaching them to give back to the community. So we have them, they go out, they do the garbage trucks, they do the animal shelter, they help with community events, they ham days, they right now they're up helping our theater change out sets. So they do tons of things. So if you need them, holler, and if we can, we'll give them to you.
Well, thank you again. And from listening to all this about the finances, it seems as though we all now have some more homework. We need to contact our legislators in Frankfurt. And, today is also a very sad day. We are now again at war. So in addition to taking care of all the local issues, we need to call our Congress about the war. And I just want to end with that message. And also there are some free resources over here on the table. And I thank you for your coming. Our next session is going to be for the candidates who are running for sheriff. and that's March 14th. So we hope to see all of you then, and hope we'll have more chairs. Sorry.